Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Nick Flo Show. I'm your host, Nick Flo. Today, a week before the official release of Shroud of Souls on consoles, it's time to bring you PS4 and Xbox folks up to speed about what you're gonna get with the mid-module update. Today we're starting with a mixed bag of stuff, but in a few days I'll be releasing a video on Masterworks, as I thought that should take a separate video. So without further ado, let's jump right into it. Hope you have fun. Story. As mid-module update, Shroud of Souls doesn't focus on story a lot. It does nonetheless feature a short quest line. Illusionist Lucan has unintentionally broken a warding rune under the river district that has opened a portal to the Shadowfell, and now there's ghostly creatures around the river district, so that's something we're gonna have to contend with. And eventually you will unlock the Shard of Night, which is a repeatable instance in the river district, kind of similar to the Demi-Planes. I know you get a companion from completing it. It's called the Netherese Arcanist, and it'll give you 450 item level, because that's right, item level is something that's changing, which is something we'll get into. But as far as story, that's really as far as it goes, so we'll go ahead and check that out, get through that. But the meat and the bones, here we go. Loadouts. The main quality of life update of Shroud of Souls is loadouts, guys. Requested by players for a long time, these allow you to quickly switch between multiple sets of powers, feats, paragon paths, and gear. It's a great addition overall, but doesn't help in all areas equally. Now, what I feel is the main drawback is that you can't switch enchantments, your mount, or your companion. So, to be honest, a full 100% one-click build switching loadout isn't possible, but what they are giving us, I'd have to say, is a really welcome addition. Now, you love to switch from your Everfrost gear to save on in blood, also from things like going to solo DPS loadouts from your support classes, and all kinds of power loadouts. They're gonna give you one additional loadout at level 30, and you can buy more loadouts for 500 Zen a pop. Not a fan of the payment system too much, but it's a free game, and I've bought plenty of games that are 60 bucks and that I played for 2 days and put them down. So whether you like it or hate it, 500 Zen, more loadouts, not bad. The big thing, guys, 30% free Everfrost resistance. As I'm running MSVA here, you can see that I could have benefited from an extra 30%. And all of you guys that have not been able to get the 28% required to get an FBI and NSVA, here it is. 30% free. Once you finish the quest in Storm King's Thunder, new players will now get the Periapt of Everfrost resistance. 30% resistance permanently. It sits in the useful items tab, and toons that have already completed the quest will find it in their mailbox. Now, this does not effectively remove the requirements for things like SVA and Fangbreaker, but it does make the content a lot easier. And for all you endgame toons out there, you're going to be able to hit the 80% damage resistance cap on Everfrost now, which is going to be absolutely awesome. Another thing, the queue changes. Speaking of dungeons, now the queue will receive a slight change and feature different requirements for public and private groups. This way, random groups are more likely to actually beat the dungeon, while pre-mades that know what they're doing are free to enter content even earlier. So, if you got a buddy, he's a little bit lower, but you guys can help him out, free to, carry him along in there, man. But a really cool thing that I really like, and you should really like as well, in case you found some cool dudes in the queue, there's a recently played with list, and you can find and befriend them. So it's a recent players list. I think all games should have that, as with social media and with the community being so social nowadays, you need a function like that so you can find the people you played with, especially if you found a good group and you want to hang with those guys. So in oversight, it's a huge step in the right direction, I think. So I think the quality of life changes are big. Now overflow bag changes, They have restricted a lot of things now, as far as you're not going to be able to hand in quests, you're not going to be able to queue, and a bunch of other functions they're going to deactivate, because I guess apparently the overflow bag was massively abused up to a point where it was causing stability issues on the server or whatnot, because there was too many items, and I don't know, but that's what they're saying. So overflow bag will get some changes. And then last but not least is item levels. Now, as you may know, the former system was not really accurate in telling a player's power. Some areas were not properly represented, others completely missing. That's why mounts, companions, insignias, and boons now come with item levels, and others were adjusted, such as gear and enchantments, companions, all kinds of things. The whole system really takes a great step forward this way, I feel. So, you know, I mean, Mod 11B, Shroud of Souls, not much story, but it is gonna pack a punch in a lot of other ways, you know. So that's the first part of my big console tune-up, if you want to call it. You can check back for my Masterwork Professions video that I'll be putting out, because there'll be gigantic changes, guys, big changes coming to that, so stay tuned for that, you know. And for everybody that came through, appreciate you guys for checking it out. Once again, I'm Nick Flo of the Nick Flo Show, and we're gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.